Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and before we get started, I'm going to say right off the bat that there's not going to be any gaming footage within this video. The reason being is that this is not something that asset flippers, and in particular a great deal of Russians, are going to want you to see. And so I wanted to make sure that there wasn't even a chance for them to be able to even issue a false DMCA takedown to remove this video from public view. So bearing that in mind, you remember how I stated that I was going to retain an air of professionalism in regards to the stories that I represent to you? Well, apparently I lied. The reason being that, in conjunction with some members of the Steam group Guardians of Greenlight with Mellow Online and Lord Croco Squirrel, we've come across a site that was both in some ways surprising, while at the same time not. Now, you will have to bear with me as I'm digesting some of this information as I go. So, as you all have been aware for quite some time, Steam's Greenlight system has become infested with asset flip titles that are nothing more than farm fuel for Steam trading cards that inevitably get through Greenlight through vote botting, keys for votes, and all the typical deceitful actions that we've all come to know and love from these asset flip developers. Also, it is well known that the vast majority of these seem to come out of Russia, but I doubt anyone on our side of the ocean had any idea just how deep the well of duplicitous fuckery went once we started diving into the behind-the-scenes aspect of these games. Now, I was directed by members of Guardians of Greenlight to the website myped.ru, and yes, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it, and to be honest, I really don't care right now. This site is the card farmer's dream home, the oceanfront property of asset flipper fuckery, the tropical island of votes for keys, vote botting, and wholesale Steam key sales that would make even G2A green with envy. Now, recently I'd had a fairly public dust-up with the Steam user Bergiev, who has posted numerous asset flips onto Steam under the development title BC Interactive. Most of these making it through Greenlight easily, while he maintains his usual litany of these assets are only placeholders and they're not asset flips, I'm updating them, even though as far as could be determined, the only updates on any of his previous titles were seemingly the updates that were released by the original Unity asset developers. As it turns out, our friend Bergiev has been extremely active on these Russian sites promoting wholesale keys of his games for the purposes of selling in batches to trading card farmers. And so apparently trading card farming is a much bigger business than I had realized, and this site is a one-stop shop to get the hookup. Bergiev's profile of Acid ABC was easy enough to locate, and we had found that he also is the owner/operator of a small gray market Steam key sales site, cards.lichshop.ru, in which he sells a good deal of keys for his games as well as some others. Now, I'm unsure whether these other games are produced by Bergiev under yet more development aliases, or if he is reselling batches of keys, but, it really doesn't matter. On his site, he is vastly undercutting the open market value of his own games. And all of them are listed as less than 4 rubles in price, which when we look at the price conversion for the most expensive game on the list, Flight Simulator VR at 3.69 rubles, and when we do a conversion to the US dollar, we wind up with a cool 6 cents. Now, why is this information important? Well, because these games are farmed for very specific reasons. Now, I've been turning this through in my head, and yes, for full transparency, this video is a bit of me thinking on the fly as I've been working through this with some other people. And bearing with me because a lot of this is conjecture and I haven't had a chance to test the veracity of this. So these cards are farmed and they're not sold as many would assume. They're converted to Steam gems. Now from there we have 2 different methods that me, with my Western culture state of mind, can determine. From there, you can craft gems into booster packs of other games, or should I say more expensive games, with trading card values of 50 cents or more for their standard cards. One can also directly sell gems on the Steam community store for real-world money. All of this is a quick, easy method of laundering these trading cards into a vast profit for someone that has a bot farm, access to these games on the cheap, and methods of obtaining more expensive games through sites like G2A. And all of this I came up with in a minute or two of actually applying my brain to the situation. And these, quote, developers and these card farmers have refined this to a fine science. And we were all focusing on the fact that these asset flippers were flooding the Steam market with shit games when we should have been more concerned with the erosion of the community market based on these farmers completely gaming the system and essentially laundering money and making vast profit at the same time. Now, this is a significant problem that it appears the entire community was blind to. We had all assumed they were making money at this sort of thing, but until we found Bergiev's little storefront, we were unsure as to how. In addition to that, we've found that a great many of these asset flippers that I've covered on my channel all use this site, myped.ru, to upvote their games and to dispense keys. Remember Javstuk, or F1N as he's known now, but at the time was known as Dentola Studios, the certain Steam Greenlight developer that I ended up getting wide publicity for covering? Yeah, he's on there. And not only that, he is a forum team member and moderator. As for seeing the Russian underbelly of the Steam trading card system, we have seemingly hit the mother lode. Now, you all know that I've asked you to like and share videos as a matter of course. However, in this particular instance, this most definitely requires more visibility than even my 20,000 subscribers are capable of doing. So please notify as many larger channels as you can. This needs a large amount of public awareness. The reason being, if we can direct Valve's focus onto this, we can cut the asset flip industry off by the knees. Now, at the time this video goes live, I'm also going to be on Lord Crocosquirrel's live stream at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern. Please do come there, as we are going to be discussing this issue at length in order to garner as much information from this as possible, and a link to that will be in the description down below. So that is April 9th at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern. Please do come. And also, as I said, it is imperative that you like and share this video, as well as alerting every YouTuber you come across, especially those that are known for consumer advocacy like Total Biscuit, Jim Sterling, Philip DeFranco, Review Tech USA, all of those. We need to get as much of this into the public eye for Valve to take notice. This is absolutely crucial. And please do subscribe while you're here. I will continue to post videos on this topic as new information is uncovered. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha. Let's get to work.